Nueva York. El vuelo 889 de Cathay Pacific va a efectuar el despegue. Su destino es Hong Kong. Sin embargo, está a punto de volar hacia lo desconocido. Los pilotos han hecho esta ruta cientos de veces, pero nunca en estas circunstancias. Mientras el avión despega de Nueva York, en Hong Kong, el aeropuerto se queda de pronto a oscuras. No se trata de un fallo eléctrico. Es un acontecimiento histórico. La culminación de casi una década de proyectos y construcciones.
Hong Kong, China the indestructible, China the incorruptible by its millenary culture. Welcome to our trip to the stars. Now the turn is for Hong Kong, the superpopulated metropolis with 8 million inhabitants and a density of 6,800 inhabitants per square kilometers, that filled the global attention before its explosive development. Beijing has 16,800 square kilometers. Hong Kong only has 1,100 square kilometers. Therefore, its high density. Hong Kong is 16 times smaller than Beijing. Bogota has 2,000 square kilometers. Its engineering works are so great that they have only been possible with the amazing tenacity of the Chinese people, to the pride of humanity. Because there is no flat land, the only city is a conglomerate of skyscrapers and a rafts floating on the sea, in which more than 40,000 people live with their floating supermarkets. The buses are always double-decker. Pedestrians walk on platforms on a second floor. Hong Kong is the greatest example of the human being ability to adapt the environment over all obstacles. Let's see what has been done in Hong Kong. 1. A 12.5 square kilometers airport over the sea. Second, a 2 kilometers underwater tunnel. Third, a 2.5 kilometers suspension bridge over the sea. Fourth, a new highway 10 kilometers above the existing one. 5. One highway and 2 cars lanes and a metro line in both directions on a 12 kilometers cleft. 6 a 20 hectares terminal with landfill over the sea in Hong Kong. Third, the old airport was no longer functional. In the middle of the city, skyscrapers. Then he looked for a solution in the only possible place, at sea. Due to his geopolitical position, it was occupied by England in 1842, but in 1898 it was agreed with China to hand it over on July 1, 1997 with a new airport. It took 7 years to meet the 99 years term. The race began in September 1991. The Czech Lapkov and Lanchau Island, 26 kilometers from the city, with 4 kilometers in length and 2.4 kilometers apart between the two, was the most appropriate place. As the two islands were very small, they would have to be joined to form a single platform 4 times larger, 12.15 square kilometers. And how? First, fly the nearest mountains to take that land to the sea and fill the empty space between the two. Second, how to transport that land? Build 100 or more dump trucks capable of loading 100 tons each to carry 500 million cubic meters of land, of which 200 million were rock. Many others loaders with a capacity of 20 tons each had to be manufactured to fill the tippers quickly. Third, build a road and a bridge to reach the sea. Fourth, with huge dredgers, aspirate the 4 by 2.5 kilometers by 12 meters high of land and mud from the seabed until leaving the rock clean. Fifth, add a layer of sand 2 meters thick on the clean rock, and then the remains of the mountains of the neighboring island. This is how this titanic war began. It was a historic land movement, an army of workers, a row of dump trucks of 100 tons each with an engine on each wheel, and for 7 years, working 24 hours a day, the war was finished. 500 million tons of rocky land was removed, enough to fill the Roman Colosseum 200 times, which is 187 by 155 and 50 meters high. Our El Campín Stadium is only 105 by 68 by 25 meters high. 1,600 times the El Campín Stadium in Bogotá. And therefore, the site dampened the fillet seabed, it was necessary to anchor the terminal building to the seabed rock with a concrete piles of 25 tons each. In 2010, a typhoon of 400 kilometers per hour breaks the crystals of the terminal, but the structure remains intact. Now, to communicate with the city, we have to build a submarine tunnel of 2 kilometers. Building it under the sea rock was very complex. Then it was planned to build a specific pipe type the size of the 2-lane highway and the double metro line. The pipeline was built in sections and then joined under the sea. Each section weighed what an ocean liner weighs with its load, 35,000 tons. Section closed tightly. The area was floated and flowed to the side where they submerged again. And with powerful hydraulic jokes, they connected tightly to each other at 15 meters deep. 5 kilometers were missing to connect the continent with the island. It was thought of another tunnel, but in the place of the sea, it was very deep. Then they decided to build 2 bridges. One of them, the Cinema Bridge, would have 2.5 kilometers and 41 meters wide, but it would have to resist typhoons with winds up to 300 kilometers an hour. Simulators bridges were made with a computer, but it was very dangerous. So they decided to make a much heavier one with 6 lines and a double rail line below for cars. 2 towers were built at 60-story skyscraper, and to support the bridge, cables 1 meter thick were placed. Each cable weighs 13,000 tons. These cables were built in the air by means of wheels that carried 2 cables in each pass, increasing their thickness. The work was done by Burka workers back from Everest who are not afraid of heights. For 9 months, they extended 86,000 meters of cable, which extended would surround the earth twice. And finally, with huge ships and cranes, the enormous board of 900 tons each were installed at 60 meters high. Engineers risked a typhoon before finishing the work, which would have been catastrophic. This bridge is considered one of the 10 largest construction projects in the world. We already have tunnels and bridges, and the access highway to the city was small. It was necessary to build a new 10 kilometers on top of the existing already. And now, it was necessary to overcome another gigantic obstacle: link the bridge with the airport. It was necessary to pass another new highway and 2 metro lines for a 12 kilometers cleft. So it was necessary to throw 23 million tons of rock into the ocean. Enough quantity to make a wall of 1.5 meters wide by 5 meters high between Moscow and Madrid. 4,000 kilometers. In 5 years, a job was done that would take between 10 and 15 years. This railway moves monthly about 2.5 million people. Something was still missing: a terminal in Hong Kong. As there is no land in the city, it was necessary to fill 20 hectares of sea with land. And in 2 years, the work was completed. On July 1, 1997, it had to be delivered to China, but they were given another year, and on July 6, 1998, the deadline was met. 156 years of British sovereignty had passed. The Chinese accepted reinstatement. The work cost 20 billion euros and 10 million hours of human labor. Each day, more than 500 flights arrive and depart, one every 5 minutes, which bring a load of more than 4,000 tons. Control systems are automated and everything works perfectly. Conclusion: only works hand in hand with scientific research. They are the master of the work. When others presume to take advantage of those who walk in that base, they remain in the dark and only serve as fuel for the former to shine brighter. No one can turn off the sun or dirty the ocean. The first would burn it, and the second would drown it. This is what is happening with the Chinese people. Their work are so great that we have no other way but to follow their example. The Chinese work: Hong Kong Airport, its highways with the monstrous interchanges, the roads over the steepest mountains, its very own beach and tunnels over and under the sea, its 25 kilometers of high-speed train, its enormous advances in the electronics, and its infinite work production. They overwhelm us and force us to believe that only war is the master of humanity and only he brings us happiness. I can make this statement from my experience as a countryman. I was born in the village of La Chorrera of the Floresta Boyacá municipality in 1946. At that time, there was nothing but a wild war. I emigrated to Bogota to study architecture, but my brother Melchizedek, having traveled all over the country, returned there to settle permanently. Then he began to transform his environment until it became a new and updated world at the time. He built roads, water supply, tanks, hydraulic work, gauge work, and so then the work all the boys in his town, who would later leave for the city and became excellent professionals. When he died in June 1270, at the age of 91, the words of farewell to the priest, who was also his worker, and mine, at his funeral, were so eloquent that the applause shocked the church and the people fell silent. He died poor, but was happier than the rest of his countrymen. His passage through the life will illuminate us forever, and his work will remain as eternal proof of his brilliant existence. I am an architect myself and worked as an instructor of Sena from 1970 to 2015. I am currently teaching English in Arsena to my fellow pensioners. Since 2008, I have traveled to 43 countries around the world, and that is why today I am sharing my knowledge and experiences to confirm that work is the only thing that exalts us and makes us happy. I understand that sometimes we distort the value of human labor, turning it into a commodity. This is a mistake. Thank you very much for your attention.